Today I'm going to take you for a walkthrough of the student view of a Pear Deck that you have assigned to Google Classroom. So this is my classroom, my test classroom that I use with the tech team. I have posted multiple activities here, but the one that I want to focus on is the one called Student View of a Pear Deck, because that's what I'd like to take a look at today. So I'm going to change over and go in as a student to my class here, so that I can see what it will look like if I launch a Pear Deck and how some of the features will look to the student. So I'm going to click on my assignment. Notice at the end of all this, I will still have to do mark as done. But I'm going to use the link to join the Pear Deck activity. And for students, it should automatically take them there. And it may ask them for it may ask them to grant access to their Google account, and that's okay because we do have a signed agreement with Pear Deck. So I have set up in my Pear Decks that it will always ask them how they're feeling before we begin. You don't have to do that. That's just a function that I have on my side of things. So basically my first slide was, what did you learn from the homework? And it's a text response. So I learned that I still have a lot to learn. And then I can hit return. And let me slide this screencastify out of the way. And that's my slide. I'm moving on to the next one, and it will record my response. On slide 2 is a draggable. So I can drag the icon. I can drag this to say, where's my stress level on this one? I'm going to say I'm about 3 right now. I'm in a pretty good spot. And now I'm going on to my next slide, which is a fact or opinion, which I should have put in an excerpt or something like that. And basically, I'm going to say this was an opinion piece. And it just tells the students at the bottom, drag the icon. It tells what the icon is. And I'm dragging it over to the opinion slide. So I'm done with that one. This one is to circle how I'm feeling. This is one of the drawing slides. So anything that shows up as a drawing, I can go select my color, select my pencil or my line. I can even include a text box if I want to. So this is really the basics of any of the drawing slides and what they will look like. So in this case, I'll just take a pencil, I'll take red, and I'll circle that I'm feeling pretty good right now. And again, I'm finished with that one. And this last slide was basically to show you how the immersive reader works. Now, this is something that I showed in the webinar last week that you have to set up in your settings on Pear Deck. So when you go to peardeck.com, you have to go into your settings and enable this, and this will work on all of the slides that you do here where it can possibly work. It shows up with a little icon in the bottom right-hand corner to launch, and when I click on it, it will pop up with a little menu here of all of my options. Now, Immersive Reader really works best when you have added your own text to a slide. That's the best case scenario. It will read items that are in small boxes. It will read items that might be on some kind of a map, but it will not read anything that has been copied and pasted in as an image. So in other words, if you found something on a website and you just took a screenshot or a snag it and pasted it in here, it will not read that. If you went and found a math problem that you wanted to copy over, but you just took a screenshot or a crop from your keyboard shortcuts and you snagged it and pasted it in here, it will not read through all of that. It will only read items that are in there as text. So when Immersive Reader launches on the page, it actually will highlight every word that it reads as it reads it. It has a play button down here. It has an option to change the voice settings from female to male or male to female, to speed up the voice or to lower the voice. I'll leave it as the default. It has the options to change the size of the text. On here in real time, it will change it, as you can see on the screen. You can increase the spacing between the sentences. You can change the fonts. You can change the background colors. Maybe for somebody who has some vision issues. You might want something that's more high contrast. That can happen too. It has an option here for grammar options if you wanted to, if you were working with a reader and you wanted them to work on the syllables. You can highlight parts of speech. If you were doing that for some reason, you can also go to this reading preferences and change the line focus. And what it will do is focus on one individual line at a time, or up to 3 at a time, or all lines of text. I usually keep that this way. It also has the ability to translate. Now, I don't know how good the translation is on here, because I'm not very fluent in any other languages, just a little bit here and there. So if I choose Latin American Spanish, it will read the whole document in Spanish for me eventually once it's done translating it. So that might be something that some of you would like to use with your students. Otherwise, leave it off. Actually, this is really just something that the students get to adjust as needed. So when I hit play, that's what it does. Again, you can slow down. The student does all this. That's the beauty of it, is that once they're shown how this works, they can adjust it to their own needs. So once I'm done with that page, I'm done with my whole slideshow. I'm all finished with it. I'm going to close it out. It's done here. There's nothing else to check off or do. I will close my presentation. I will mark it as done in my classroom. I don't need to attach anything to it. So in my classroom, I have gone on and hit submit. And in my Google Classroom, in my Pear Deck, I have finished all of the activities for my teacher to go view. So that's basically a quick video of showing you the student view of a Pear Deck and some of the functions and how it works for your students. Thank you for watching.